What's going on, gamers? In this video today, we are going to be talking about the Rodecaster Pro 2. Oh yes, it is a beauty. It is a great piece of kit. It's really good. It's one of the funnest things that I've been using for like the past week, boys. You know, yeah. It's great bit of kit. Got a lot of stuff that's down to it. We're going to have a lot of fun talking about this thing, what it does, what we've got it all hooked up for. So we got ourselves recently a Mogami cable. You know, one of these special ones up here. You know, yeah, can't go wrong with that. Then we got ourselves all alongst here our different microphone input layouts. So we got here a Alexa that's going in. We got ourselves our console that's going through all the way down to this thing over here, our audio extractor, as we always have had. We have also got ourselves, gamers, the headphones that are wireless ones that are right here. So those are those ones, you know, yeah. And then we've got ourselves, you know, yeah, let's see. We got ourselves the good old speakers plugged in all the way down over here. You know, that's this thing right there. We got ourselves a 1/4-inch headphone line-in jack. Reason being is because we use ourselves also some sound that is from the SteelSeries device here, because if you remember in our Go XLR video, we had it where if you have the line out, you can then use it for Xbox parties and such like that and bring them back into this, and then allows you to have it all play through another slider that goes all the way up this way, wherever you want it to be. Right here, what we got ourselves our microphone, we got our chat, we got ourselves our music that's on here, we got ourselves our gameplay that's on this one, we got ourselves our Alexa that's on this one for now, and we got ourselves over here our console that's right over there. So, you know, yeah, you can switch that however you want it to be though. Like, we can switch this as another game chat one at the side. And then we got ourselves a whole bunch of different sound effects and such like that. We also want to go and get ourselves using the media plugin stuff, but you know, yeah, and then all this stuff, which is just the good old handy regular stuff that you've got there, you know. So we got ourselves the Rodecaster wire that was right there, another USB-C. This also runs both Ethernet that you can do, or you can have it run wired. I prefer Ethernet personally though, because I like to, it's like right next to my my router, which is like right down here, you know. And then I've got over here, this is the power cable. And then you got ourselves a power button and a Kensington lock at the back over there. Next thing we're going to do, gamers, I'm going to go through a bit of the software and then go and show you all my little preset bits that I've gone and done for this. And then go and tell you how we have this all routed also through the good old picture of what's on the display that then has all the different settings. As you guys saw right there, we have metering on, because what I like to do is I like to look at the levels of seeing how high all the different sound is, and that can be really good for just general on the fly recording and such like that. And then also because it does inbuilt recording into the device, as well as doing live streaming when we can just do regular gaming, boys, and play with our mates, you know, because we can go and see how loud they are, if everything's peaking, see if everything's on the good okay side of things. And, you know, yeah, keep it all well and handy, you know, yeah.
What's going on, gamers? In this video, this part, what we're doing right now is we're going to be showing off the software that is within the Rodecaster itself. So we're going to be going through the Rodecaster app itself. So as we got right here, we've got here the audio setup, your device configuration, custom SmartPads. This is all what you get automatically when you then plug in the Rodecaster into your computer and install the Rode Central app. Having that being said, we've got right here set up our microphone on mic 1. We've got chats. We've got USB 2. We've got USB 1. We've got line in 2. We've got line in 3. and we also have line in 4. And what we are using for those is it's analog to digital converters, which we are using. These little connectors that are from Rode, they're designed for connecting a microphone that you would want to use, such as like a shotgun microphone or any other type of mics, to then go back into the Rodecaster as a line-in input. So what that means, gamers, is it means if you just plug something into those ports, there is no faffing about, there's no nothing, and it just works and is simple. Now, boys, how we have this all set up, as you guys can see probably right here, this all works and shows that you can see absolutely everything. On mic 1, we have ourselves the Shure SM7B, as you can see right here. We have ourselves the high-pass filter on, the de-esser, we have ourselves the noise gate and the compressor, as well as the EQ that's within the microphone, so with some low gain and some high gain. An exciter that adds in some more depth and harmonics to our voice, as well as panning. And the high pass filter, we have this pretty low by default, because yeah, the high pass filter gets quite a way of all those that sharpness, and we want to keep it as low down as possible, you know. But it's also very cool that we can move this both in this, where we can then move it, and then also we can move it on the little tablet itself, so it's responsive on both of them. So that's very nice. And then here we can also change the colors. Also on advanced, we can go and save a preset, as you guys can see right here, as we've got Shure SM7B and 55 dB of gain. And for all these, you want to go and change it based on what thing you want to name it and such like that. And yeah, so basically the main thing you want to go in with when you're setting this up is both the range as well as how far the attack is, as the threshold too. So the threshold is basically how quickly then when you're speaking the words then actually then goes on and off with the noise gate. So yeah, it's not so bad. It's pretty good. And the hyperbole is how much space between it there is. We then have ourselves chat that we've put on with the processing kept on by default. Also kept it on -12 dB. For these type of outputs, I've often kept these low at keeping them at -12. But for stuff like USB 2 and USB 1, I've turned off the processing because it can sometimes be a little bit annoying hearing cutting in and out from like sort of sources that you listen to. So with that being video games and that being, you know, other stuff. Reason being why we keep this on for like the chat mic one is because of people's microphones aren't necessarily always the best. Also put it on podcast studio so that it makes them have some more clarity to their voices. We've also got ourselves right here line in on number 2. I'd also put this all the way down at -12 as well as that one, but by default you can't go and do that. So yeah, we have to keep them at a pretty low sound. We do enable to make sure that they don't end up like over peaking back into the source. They should be compressed anyway because it's like from a digital signal into an analog signal that's then going back into a digital signal. So it works through the chain. Bluetooth, this one is one that varies. So like for instance, if you're watching videos on your phone, you might want to put this at -12 if you're just wanting to use your phone for like maybe headphones, but I won't recommend using wireless headphones over Bluetooth because it's got bad latency. You'd put this all the way down back to 0 from going at this side. And yeah, if you want it to be for chat with your phone and bring somebody and then bring them on, yeah, keep this on and turn processing on. You know, yeah, there's some fun stuff. And as well as that, we've got ourselves all the sound pads that we've got configured with all sorts of different stuff, as you can see here, and we can just configure, and then it's as far as when you click to continue, we can choose all the things and then add in any type of sounds that are from the computer. So but also within that whole chain, I'm going to show you the headphone output. So headphone output, we've got low sensitivity headphones. So it's just the difference between this is how much loudness there is into the headphones. So high impeding headphones don't need much loudness. So the ones that you just plug in, which are headphone monitoring headphones, or just general headphones that are the like for instance, other than the Rode NT1s, you can get yourself like the DT770 headphones. Those ones were good ones that I used for so-and-so time period. They would be good for low sensitivity headphones because they're like bassy and such like that and sharp. Headphones too, we've got this on high sensitivity. This is because we are using ourselves the good old speakers we are, and the speakers get quite loud, they do on their own. So we don't need that extra loudness to the speakers because it just drowns them out, to be fair. Makes it a bit too bassy in my opinion, because that's what it basically does. It adds more depth, more bass. So having low headphones on the first one is great for me for wanting to hear footsteps in video games, as well as still being able to listen to my friends and such like that. And we've kept 3 and 4 by default because we have nothing plugged into it. Monitoring, we have this set as where we took off all of these because auto mute Bluetooth just gets rid of your that one thing. Routing table, this is important, as routing table we have everything set to what we wanted it to. You can also go ahead and have sub mixers where you then go and move this from so and so, have more sound, have less sound, do whatever you want with it, But yeah, what we also have this on is with the device, we have everything on monitoring mode. So what that allows us to do is with these little green earphone pieces, right, you can go and listen to it listens to one track separate on each different track. But if you have it where you set all of them to green on the monitoring mode, you can then have it where if you toggle one of these to then be on a mute, it then just mutes it to the source that's then being sent out onto a stream or onto a different thing if it's set up that way for you. Or sometimes you might want to have it like so then if you're streaming, you then don't have the chat that's then being sent out to the stream, and then it still stays within your ears. It was a bit of something me trying to figure out all of that properly. Headphones too, we've got this where it's within the speakers, so we don't want our microphone coming back out to the speakers, we don't want our friends going back out to the speakers, we don't want our Bluetooth necessarily going back out to the speakers. Sometimes monitoring mix, I do not have monitors for left and right, unfortunately. Recording, we've got this still on main mix. We can also change this to custom, where it allows us to have every single individual track that then gets put out. Bluetooth, we've only got it where people can then hear my microphone and then hear the sound pads. So then USB 1, we've got USB 1 output that's coming out. So then the computer can get back the sound that then comes back into the stuff that then gets being played when we go and choose so and so source, that then allows us to then have sound that then comes back into the mix. We've got ourselves number 3 also on this, and Bluetooth on this, because we have USB 1 as being system sounds. Then we have the chat mic set as microphone 1, and also SmartPads, because we've got this configured in the computer in OBS as main mic. So as you guys can probably see about here, if we go and grab this out and show you this there, so you guys can see we've got main mic that's right here, we've got mic sound, system sound, and as you probably could see here, microphone pro chat mic is that one. We then have ourselves this one that is Rodecaster secondary, and then as ourselves for the system sound, we have main stereo, which is pretty good. Then over here, we've got in USB 2, we've got our friends set on this in the chat mix, as well as USB 2, which is on its own track. You know, we've got the microphone, we've got USB, we got another USB 2, which is music, which is coming from the Alexa, that would then come out and play. And then, because it's technically music and also teammate volume is what this one track is with music, we've also set microphone 4, that is line in 4, which is the one that comes from my headphones that are the back of the Steel Series ones on the line out, that allows me to then bring a party chat that then comes from Xbox back into the sources, which is really good. Then we have the listen track, so you can either have this when you click listen on the little earphone icons. As I've told you, gamers have this where it is unaffected and will always stay at that one same constant level, so that will be pre-fader listen. After listen is when you then move the faders, and you will hear it based on which bit you have moved it to. Multi-track recording, this is where you can have it where you want it with so-and-so settings. So pre-fader has it in when you've left that one position on your faders and then recorded something, it then keeps on that one thing. Post fader position is when you're moving the things, and it allows you to keep on moving it and then have different things that then react within that. Off is when it's just one single line of recording, so it just ends up being the microphone itself. USB mode is also exactly the same, like where you can either have this go into Logic or any type of other thing that you want it to do, and have that then recording where it's then with the individual tracks rather than of having things on main stereo mix. Because yeah, if you want it to be on main stereo mix, you want to have this on off, just to make that clear. Processing, you got the master compiler, you know, and then you got your output delay. Output delay is how much then by everything is delayed by, you know, as the name entails, you know. That's how an output delay is. Display, you know, we kept this as by default. It has it on never dim. Keep the brightness for the buttons quite nice and constant. Metering, instead of by default where you see absolutely nothing, we've got it where we have metering on, so then it has a more defined look to it, so then you can see absolutely every level of what number each of the sound is. So if you do video editing, this can be very good for you or so like that, because if you know what type of level sound's supposed to be for when you have music on, for instance. So you want it to be either at -30 or you want it to be at -20. You can very much see where the line ends and where the music would then be to then have it be set at, you know. So that's really good. Haptic feedback, we have this set. There's no haptic feedback. I don't want to feel like pulses coming through my fingers coming back to me. Record button, we have this set by default where it is on press to pause. System, we've gone and put on allow MIDI controls, so then that allows us to add in things for OBS, because we're going to be using that stuff hopefully to be able to also change some scenes within OBS, but I haven't really messed with it all that much. Information, this is where we can get to reset the device, and then continue with the SmartPads allows us to add in if we want things to be a mixer option, want it to be a soundtrack, which allows us to drag and drop it over, allows us to have a latching sound, so we can change reverb, change what the thing is on the microphones, change if we want it to be a sensor button, ducking button, you know, duckings are very nice, and then just MIDI control, you know, which is pretty good. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed that little bit of showing off how to work within the software. Also, if it wasn't already apparent, if you want to, you can go and update this within this from going in, clicking the settings icon, going to available firmware and updating this. You can go into the device with the settings cog, go into system, go into information, and then go on to check for updates, and then that allows you to update the device to its most recent version of it, as well as being able to factory reset the device if it is acting up on you, you know. Also, gamers, I'm gonna show and share in the little bits of recordings that we had up until this point, because this is just this bit that was all the stuff that you've just seen. Now is all the software, what to do to configure it, how to be able to use it and such like that. But I'm also gonna go and show you the bit like that was me when it was day 1, day 2, day so-and-so, me moving everything to be able to get it to where it is right now. And with that being said, also some of the things I stumbled upon, so like the microphone clipping too loudly when talking to friends, or other different things that have went on and happened. And I hope you enjoy it if you're still watching. What's good, gamers? Got a wireless Go Me right here, so you won't be hearing stuff through the you won't be hearing stuff that's going through the camera right now, gamers. We have a video, boys. We have a video. What is the video and what does it entail? What are we doing? So, what we got right here in front of us is we've got ourselves the good old Go XLR that was always our trusty faithful, you know, always the one and only, you know, that we were using. Well, unfortunately, this has been discontinued, so we are now going to be using this, which is the Rodecaster Pro 2. Brand new audio mixer that we have gotten ourselves today. It has been out for a year and such like that, you know, has its nice physical buttons. There has been a brand new one as well that was the Rodecaster Duo and such like that, but we wanted the bigger, beefier boy, you know, because we want all those extra features and such like that. And enough to power this gain-hungry microphone, the Shure SM7B. So that's the main differ, is that there's going to be all these preamps that are all here, so something brand new for us gamers, you know, as well as all these ports that are all here. It's going to be really good, you know, yeah. I'm going to have a whole bunch of fun using all this stuff. It's got a power button as well, which is really nice. So, yeah. Also plan on probably maybe get a stand here or something, you know, enabled to use it later. But we're just going to set it all up, see how it is, and you know, yeah, it's going to be really good. Next thing is audio on the good old phone. We're going to grab our phone right here, so we're in vertical mode. Then we're going to switch now to full screen mode. So yes, now we're in full screen mode. Gonna go like this, wide aspect ratio right now. Everything's all capturing on the Rode microphone right now.
through everything. Just gonna go move this like that. Please just stay still. Would love that. There we go. We're just gonna grab this like that. We're gonna position you like that. Since you are a flip phone and can do that. We don't have any top-down so-and-so things, unfortunately. Yeah. What's going on, Instagrammers? It's you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. That's what I'm gonna have it like this at least, so then you guys can see like the gist from a side angle at least. I mean, in a way. Got a mouse right here, gonna put that back on the side over there. Got a controller all here still. Gonna move all these. This is both going to take care of quite a few problems and solve everything, hopefully, you know. Hi. There we go, we're back. We're standing here. We're gonna unplug everything that goes into this device. So everything's going black, everything's going grey. I know, as it be. Oh yes, we'll turn off them, then they're not buzzing. Unplug all this stuff over here. Unplug our microphone, most important wire right there. We're gonna go ahead and trace back this audio cable. So I don't remember if this one was any longer. Yeah, it's like a super short XLR cable. Super short, but practical, very practical, you know. Practical when you got like a cloud lifter using that stuff. Been a whole year since I've had to move this thing. 2 years, in fact. It was January, so yeah. So there's the Go XLR, everything we've been using for ages. Great piece of kit, great piece of kit. It feels so much like robust. Like that's got weight to it, but that's like a half and half heavy type thing. Mainly the right that's heavier than the left hand side. Whereas this feels like everything's heavy within it because it's metal all around it at the bottom right there. We got the audio extractor that we need to go and unplug. So we're grabbing that wire. We're tracing it all the way through. I'm gonna grab this, gonna move that. What did we have plugged in here? Oh, that was the camera wire. Oh, we just gotta be dragging dust everywhere. Absolute horrid. It's coming all over onto our computer. We're gonna turn that off, gamers. Since nothing's running through that, it's just gonna get dusty otherwise. Getting dusty either way, to be fair. Getting dusty either way. As they say, there's no way to push it other than the way that is how to push it, you know? Oh, boys, don't like this. Don't like moving cables. Let's thread the rest of that through. Go. Oh, come on. It's caught on something. There we go. We got that. There we go. There's a cable. Now we're having no nonsense with any ground loop isolators. We're using nothing but the cables now. So here we go. There's something. There we go. That's fine right there. I just want one thing. It's moving that cable up. There we go. And then that's subtle. There we go. That's fine. There we go. So no ground loop isolators. We'll grab that out of the way. Take that cable. There we go. So we got this out of the way now. Grabbing this cable. We don't need this because this was essentially a 2 HDMI splitter. A 2 audio splitter because everything's running on these. I know that's just as simple as it is. Everything's running on these. So if my theory is correct, when I plug this wire into this wire like that, it fits, and then I plug this wire into this bit, which is headphone 1, and that should work when everything is being dealt with. Just the same, we're gonna grab this wire, gonna go into the TRRS port right there, gonna grab that. This goes into headphone output 2 like that. So we're crossing cables. Not something I always like to do. Don't like to cross cables, but seems I have to in this scenario. Let's see what else we got. What was this cable? This one is this one's one of those type of inputs and outputs. So we're just gonna move that like that. Gonna move this like that. Alrighty. I'm getting hot. It's getting hot. Moving all the way around here. And going all the way down this bit. We then chuck you down here. Then you go down this way and you end up at the microphone number uno. There we go. Here we go. In front of us. I think there's something that will power on this device, won't it? This will be the button. I think we need to plug it in. We're gonna fit this through the back of it, but right now, gamers, we're just testing with the power and that, you know, seeing how it is. Should be alright. Oh yes, there we go. Shit. You ain't staying still there, buddy. Stay there. Stay there. Arg. Stay there. Hey, here we go. There we go. Actually, it buzzed. It buzzed. It buzzed. It buzzed. It went buzz buzz. Went buzz buzz. It's like a smartphone, that. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's crazy to think. It's crazy. Yo, look at it. Look at it. Yo. We got a setup process and everything. English. Yes. Don't mind if I do. What's today? Oh yes, we gotta change that date. Today is 2023. I don't even know. The 8th, and today is the 15th. So it's got American settings right here. Universal time. Let's see. Show dates and time options. Wi-Fi, why not? Yeah, we're up to date. Get started. There we go. Setup wizard. Why not? Click on that. Make sure they're all set to Unity, which they are. You know, yeah. Some cool stuff right here. All the way down. Yep. Headphone 1 already plugged in. I'm just gonna grab a head. Oh yes. Very fun. Let's turn these on. These bad boys on. Let's have a see if we can hear out or not. We've connected them to the back over there, so we'll find out if everything works now, won't we? Straight away, find out. We shall find out. Oh yes, boys, we shall find out next. Okay, slightly turn this up. Well, phone needs charging. We'll be back for setup process. What's good, day gamers? Day 2 with the Rode Wireless Me right now. Put it back into my pocket. We've got ourselves the good right in front of us right now. As you guys see, it's day 2. We've connected our microphone to the thing. We've done with the Shure SM7B. We've connected this little pocket device also to this. You know, as you can see, level indicators are all there. We've got all the little dialog boxes with all the little level sliders where we got it on metering, because metering is the best one you can have it on, with like being able to see stuff. We've also got it in beta mode right now, as you guys should be able to then see. We've also within so-and-so things, you got headphone outputs, you've got monitoring outputs, you know, your routing table that's right here. Right now we've got everything with our audio stuff routed like this and such like that, with the good old sub mixers. So sound is lower in headphones but then goes out to higher volume and such like that. We had absolutely everything set up in OBS yesterday, which I should have done a little recording for you guys, but unfortunately I couldn't. I wasn't so great. Everything was not so great. Our USB hub that's right there is no longer working for us, so that is great. We've also got ourselves all this stuff with like the audio. So you see
On this second part, we've got audio 2. You're wondering what that is? That's all of these speakers. So as soon as we play something like YouTube,
go-karts and ideas will pop out as we go. And that's true, like a lot of great ideas came.
it then goes through on to the good old bit of on YouTube. So we're through these speakers on the good old leveling bits that are right there, right? So that's pretty fun. We've got ourselves Bluetooth, where it shows just our own microphone going in, and as well as the sound pads. So there's these. So you might want to hear. Yeah. Some nice little sound pads, you know, some good stuff. We've got it quite low, to be fair, because like I don't know how well those will then sound then on stream later, but you know, yeah, we're gonna mess around with that like later on, probably when we then do get a stream in going. For routing, if you're wondering all that stuff, since most people usually do, we've got all these turned off in our USB output. It works just the same as the Go XLR, so you think of all of this as your main broadcast mix, right? So you'd want everything to go onto here. Well, I know a little trick with this that that you can go and just take off that microphone on that, put the microphone in on chat mix, put that own chat mic section all into the computer. So we go on to this, right? You can see it then has sound mixer options, right? We've then got chat mix and stereo mix. We put these both as our own inputs and outputs as the defaults within this, you know, because that's important to have. Yeah, and then we had everything as well plugged in through here, right? Where we had, so on here we got USB 2. It doesn't come with two USBs, the Rodecaster, so you're gonna have to like get yourself another USB. This one is just a regular USB cord cable that was USB-C to USB. You know, you can, preferably you want to run on USB-C because it's the fastest one going, but you can go and run it other than that, you know, because there is any type of stuff that you can do with like anything, to be fair. What else we get? So mix minus, that also takes away and puts in. There's a bit of a weird thing with updates there is to begin with this device. But you can fix that with going into the Rode Central app and then like that configures things properly. I run everything with the two inputs going into this. Another thing that I have done, gamers, is we've plugged in things like this Alexa into here. This is currently on mic 2. We had this on mic 3 we did, but we also had plugged in this bit that was our wireless receiver output. So then if we want to play on any so-and-so bits, if you've seen with my Go XLR video beforehand where we had friends audio chats, that also works with going into this, it does. But what I have found out is that there is noise with these auxiliary cables that are right here, that are like the regular bits. Also, when you run them in line in mode, they don't work instantaneously, so you have to run them on like mic mode. So it's a bit of a faff, a bit of a hassle has happened and gone down. So what we are getting ourselves to solve that issue, gamers, is we are getting one of these. It's a from Rode themselves, stereo TRS cable jack, 3-pin. You know, this one is standard, so I learned a little bit about that. They've got 3 other versions of this. The difference is this doesn't run on phantom power. Other ones do run on phantom power, so you know, it varies on that if you want things with phantom power or not. But as far as stuff for us, when we had things connected, we had one of these regular standard cables plugged into this, got feeding through over that way, and then feeding back into there. We're going to do that same process
but instead of it being these 1/4-inch headphone jacks, instead of these 1/4-inch headphone jacks, we're going to be using those XLR input ones. If you're wondering if you just buy regular XLR adapters, gamers, you have to end up using 2 of these XLR adapters enabled then to have so-and-so input to so-and-so output, because normally these run as being 2 sets of audio where it's like it goes into mono, but because this isn't listed as stereo, such as when I like searched it up and found it, it should hopefully work, because we want ourselves a stereo output, and then we don't have to faff about with having 2 separate outputs, and then we can have like all of our 4 inputs still going into this, and we don't have to give up like another microphone slot, which is good. It is good, gamers. What's good, gamers? We got ourselves moved end of day 2, right? We have gone and changed this round. We've got a bit more space now on the desk, which is great. We got our stream deck here. We got everything. We moved the USB hub over here from when it was like back this way. The Wi-Fi thing is router is down that way instead. Everything's great over here. You know, yeah, some cool stuff. Speakers over there instead of over here, but it makes it a bit more streamlined, and yeah, everything's really good. I like it. That's good, gamers. It's day 3. As you guys can see right here, we've got the Rodecaster right in front of us. It's pretty good. We've changed to another stand we have. That's this one now instead. Yep, this is the stand that we're using now. We're using audio settings, right, gamers, that were on the Rodecaster, where we checked and saw that there was some bad noise that was coming in from so-and-so outputs, right? These brand new audio parts that are from Rode, right? They're USB-C to XLR type of cable things. You see right here, we've got like another 2 of these in another packet right here, right, gamers? And yeah, so they use 3.5 to XLR, they do, and what they do is essentially allows you to run any ports that are from so-and-so devices that can go straight back into this. And right now we've got like things like our Alexa that is playing right now, so I can just mute that and then it's not playing through there. It's really good, I really like it for the ability of just the workflow with stuff. We've gotten our audio extractor working through this and such like that, which is really good, is all the stuff that's all from here on the console side. That is this audio extractor. We have switched back to this one because the other one doesn't work for so-and-so things, because this one, we need this one because it's got like a couple more features because of the fact that you can switch all these switches at the back, and it runs, how I've got it running so far, it's on 7.1 surround sound, and works it does within this stuff. Beforehand, when we had so-and-so inputs, right, we had them the other day with these cables that are the ones that you use for like a guitar or so like that, right? We use them as 3.5mm adapter ones, right? They work good, they do, but mainly these are good for headphone input. So there's 4 headphone inputs there, and then we've got like 2 stereo output ones that are there that are both left and right channels. So if for anything in the future with more headphones, we can plug all these in. Same thing with left and right speakers. If you're wondering what we got this on right now with our speakers that we got here, because we don't have monitoring speakers, we got general speakers. We've got them running through on headphone output 2. And then if you're wondering through whatever type of settings that go through here in our audio outputs and routing in headphone 2, you can see we've got both the mic 1 and friends output muted and such like that, and we got all of these all active and working. It's really fun. is the device. It takes a couple of days, it does, to get. I've been having fun with it. Another thing was when we were in OBS and we were trying out all the audio settings and such like that, when sound was being played onto this device and such like that on like the microphone, right? There was really bad sound that was coming back from it, right? So we'll go and turn these speakers back on. So here we go. Here's a video of me audio test. Not that video. That's good audio.
Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing, testing. This is the microphone. Sounds really good.
That's shit audio quality, right? And we go back to this morning where we went and changed it.
Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
There's that. And that's good. You know, that's working and such like that. There was so-and-so buzzing that came from so-and-so outputs. That's normal from so-and-so things. But essentially we've done this where there's then now like no buzzing from so-and-so things. These are all stereo inputs, so you don't need to route it through two of them to then make from two of them to be mono to then make them stereo. If you're wondering what we did then for that setting, we went into settings on our computer. We went on to sound mixer options, right? We went into here. We went and chose. So you want these to be your inputs and outputs, but you want to essentially go into this. You want to go and look on your microphone settings, and you see where it says like audio enhancements. So by default, audio enhancements on these is turned to device default effects. So, you know, you want to turn these off. Also with this, when you're setting all this up, so you see how like the microphone's on like 54 and such like that. I would not mess with this in here because I personally tested it. I did on OBS, and when that was messed with to turn it to like 100%, it just had nothing but white noise and me talking that then went back into feedback loop. You know, yeah, just some stuff that went on and happened. Not so great, but you know, as far as stuff anyway, with volume, that was good. Everything was really good. And you know, yeah, I'm testing now some more stuff with the audio stuff. And yeah, with day 3, having stuff set up, having all this working with no sound, no negative sound. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Also, the last thing we did with this is we also tested showing how to use this with a audio stuff. So you remember this thing? Let's catch dust at this point. This we used to be able to switch having our party chat and our game chat back into our GoXLR the first time of so-and-so things, of being able to put party chat back into your setup so then everybody can hear all that stuff that's going on. Well, that's exactly the same as with the SteelSeries headset on the base station at the back of it when plugging it back into the Rodecaster on volume 4 outputs. So with that being said, that's the next bit that I've also shown off in this testing showing off. So here's me testing the audio. That would be from the Xbox party side. Coming back into the Rodecaster. Here is a test right now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Here is another test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is another test, yeah. Ba ba na 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 na. Here's another test, yeah. La 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 la. Ba ba la la. Here's a test to the microphone. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Hello, hello, hello. In this video today, guys, we are talking about the Rodecaster Pro 2. Oh, I'm a rebel just from Kingston. Just gonna grab some audio from. Alrighty then. Now we're gonna do an audio test on the console side of things. Here's an audio test from everything on the console side of things now. Watching a YouTube video. Yep, there's that bit for test. And if you're new to your YouTube channel, please do remember to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed everything with this video. It's been a long one. But yeah, I hope to see us all around. Because they're just gonna keep, they're not gonna keep coming.